And now, the Purple Room.
Welcome into another episode of The Purple Room. I am Patricia Caputo, he's David Bartholomew, and we are so excited you decided to join us here again today, aren't we, David?
Oh yeah, we're back after a long week, and we're here. We're joined by the best producer, Mr. Adam Gattuso. What's going on, man?
Not too much, David. I appreciate the compliment, but look, we're going to get straight into things. It's a big week right now for LSU athletics. There are 8 sports currently ranked inside the top 10 nationally, and while it's a good thing to have all these sports getting so much attention and performing at such a high level, we have seen that when you start to have success, fans might get a little upset because they start doing some renovations to these facilities. We saw it this week. That iconic LSU sign in the north end zone is coming down. It's all the way down now. They're doing some renovations, but a lot of parents are really upset now because it's messing up their grad pics. So I ask you guys, what's an alternative? Where are you going to go take your grad pictures now?
David, I think you have some really good ideas. You start.
Well, firstly, I don't know why parents are so upset. It's not like it's going to be gone forever. They got to put it back soon.
One thing that I saw is that one parent said these are the same kids that went through COVID and kind of got ditched of graduation, so she was upset that her son or daughter was in the same situation again.
They're not getting ditched. I mean, look, it'll be down for tops, like 2 weeks?
I don't know. I don't think there's a timetable yet.
Oh, well, hopefully
So
it's
that's the
back before
problem.
May. You know, you guys can just...
Hopefully.
You guys are graduating in like a couple months. You got some time, guys. LSU's going to make it up. But if they don't come back, I got some good spots. So if you want to feel a little like... you want to get some nostalgia in your photos, remember some good times, I'd say take it in front of Himes Hall. I mean, you took a lot of tests there. It could have been your best moments. It could have been your worst moments. That's a good way to remember college, right in front of Himes. But let's say that's not really what you're into. You didn't take that much test there, but you did go to a lot of sporting events. And you can't get the LSU behind you. Take it with Shaq. The Shaq statue in front of, kind of on the side of the PMAC, I think it's a good spot. I visit that spot every night.
Every night?
Yeah, on my nightly walk.
Okay.
I pass by Shaq. I say what's up to Shaq.
All right.
Keep it pushing. That's where I'm going to take my photo personally. I'm going to see if I could climb Shaq.
Oh, God.
LSU, I did not mean that if that could get me in trouble. And the last spot is the Enchanted Forest.
That's a good one.
That right there, that encapsulates campus. Everyone knows what the Enchanted Forest is, and everyone knows it so much that we all just started calling it the Enchanted Forest one day. Who even made that name?
I don't know.
We came onto campus with that knowledge already.
You're right.
I feel like that's a perfect place to take a photo. But,
Yeah, that's really good. I like those ideas. I would do Shaq, but also the tiger statue right in front of Mike the Tiger. I would take a picture with Mike the Tiger.
Yeah,
try not to get in the cage, but maybe just like, Mike, come over here and see what picture I get. Then I don't think you're allowed to sit on that tiger. Not the real one, the statue, but Desperate Times, Desperate Measures. Not that I would do it, but you might see that from other kids.
That's true.
Also, where you got your degree from, the building, for us it'd be Manship. Iconic, right? You're going to get that picture. I even saw some jokes about the library. The library's iconic. You know what I mean? I think you should do it in front of there. That might be something to consider. It's a little run down.
Like that little picture that everyone spreads on the internet every couple months. You take it right there, all the
Dive
trash
in the
bags
trash
and
can.
stuff. Oh, yeah. That's electric right there.
It's a purple trash
That's
can, so
electric.
it would match with your gown. So I think that would be really pretty and really nice.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
I think we can get the ideas flowing here. And then I do like maybe outside the baseball stadium, not that there's really a sign, but there's another statue out there. There's some monuments that maybe you can get a little bit of that feel for that.
Yeah, you might get lucky too outside of the baseball stadium because Jay Johnson's always around. So he might just be there. You take your graduation photo with Jay Johnson. That's a win in my book. That's better than the LSU sign.
Exactly. I think that's really good. Maybe try to do that. Matt McMahon, Kim Mulkey, Jay Johnson, get all the coaches, Brian Kelly, just get them all to make up for this.
While he's there, show him your pitch.
Oh, yeah. I think you could be a pitcher, David, right?
Probably on a average day, I'm probably going 120.
Okay.
120 on the shoulder.
Yeah.
That's just no warm up.
The last place I might take it is in front of Panera in the Engineer Building, just because I go there a lot. So, I'd really want to just feel that.
But is it the same Panera?
It is. I went back. I went the other day. After the flood, is that your reference?
Yeah, after the whole place came down on itself.
They actually gave me 2 ciabatta rolls instead of 1 like they usually do, so I actually think it's better.
I just feel guilty. I feel like it's not the same memories. It wasn't there with me, you know?
Yeah, you don't think? I don't know. I think it's the same. I think they did a really good job.
I will say, David did mention that it can't be gone for that long. The spring football game is, I think, April 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So I would imagine they're trying to get something up by then. They don't want to just have a blank end zone come spring game. But we did see a couple renderings on Twitter that were posted, or X, should I say.
Yeah.
Here's one of them. These were sent out in 2021. This is the north end zone. So they're putting in like a standing room area with a bar and a new video screen. And the only thing I will mention about this, if you're listening on audio, it looks awesome. It's like lit up LEDs, big old bar, a bunch of TVs, some standing room. But it's in the north end zone. You can see the PMAC in the back of this. So either the video screen is moving up or the student section is getting smaller.
Oh.
And you're already on top of each other in that student section, right? So feel how you want about it. There's one rendering. The other rendering that they have circulating out there is the concourses. It looks like they're trying to make them wider. They're making the staircases turn sideways rather than just going straight out into the concourse.
Okay.
It reminds me a lot of Kyle Field at Texas A&M. And as much as it pains me to say it, that is a beautiful stadium. And if you could take Kyle Field and put the LSU environment in there, that would be the most amazing college football experience, maybe even the most amazing sporting experience that you could ever get. So I think making these concourses a little more modern, widening them out a little bit, giving people room to walk, it might bring the capacity down a little bit, but those games are going to be fun if these renovations are what they look like in the renderings.
Yeah, I agree. Wow, if we could modernize Tiger Stadium a little, I think that would go far. Because even right now, when you Tiger Stadium's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but it kind of looks like an empty 1900s.
Like a Coliseum.
It's still like a dorm.
What's the biggest dream renovation for y'all? For me, it's seat backs. I don't like people standing on top of me. Keep them away from me.
I would like that. Personally, I'm really easy. I just want an acai bowl in there or something. I don't really like pizza. The jambalaya is all right, but I want some fruit in there. I just want to be able to eat an acai bowl at a football game. That's my dream. I'm not asking for much.
How about a hot tub?
Where
nice hot tub.
Where? Wait, I think they have something like that in the Raiders stadium. They have a pool.
Really?
I'm pretty sure in Vegas.
Let's get a bunch.
But where would you put this? Would you put this in
Every
the
single
student
side.
section? Every side. Okay.
Oh, the student section gets 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
2 hot tubs.
Yeah.
All right.
And we just we do a raffle in the student section. They take your name.
Do you think that would work?
No.
Yeah.
We would just all jump in. After a great win, you just soak in a hot tub.
But what happens if it's September and it's so hot outside and it's 100 degrees and nobody wants to sit in a hot tub?
Show your dedication for the team. This team's been training since August in plus 100 degrees with pads on, trying to go crazy for us. You don't think we could stand in a little bit of heat?
Okay. What about a pool to counter it? No?
I'm down with a pool too, but hot tub was just the first thing that came to my mind.
No, I like both of them. I was just wondering because sometimes it gets really hot that you can work on your tan in the pool and then you can go in the hot tub when it's November and Thanksgiving weekend when they're at home and it gets a little colder.
As long as you're chanting for the Tigers.
Yeah, I think that's a plan. I think that's a really good plan and we should consider that.
So David.
Yeah.
Spring game, it's April, you're in your hot tub.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
It's 100 degrees outside, you're in your hot tub in the student section, you're watching the spring football game. Who has the most to prove in your eyes this spring?
For me, it's going to be Kyron Lacey. I mean, he has big shoes to fill if he's going to truly become that wide receiver 1. And he has his fair share of believers now, I feel like, but he also does still have a fair amount of haters. A lot of people were kind of low on him coming into the season. I was kind of one of them because it just felt like he had butterfingers. He ran good routes, but he just couldn't hold on to that ball. But I really think that BK and the entire staff did a really good job of developing him throughout the season. We've seen that he started to get more calls for those bigger shots in the game. There was plays and scenarios we were in where we were third down and long, and you'd want to get Malik Neighbors or Brian Thomas, but I seen Jaden Daniels chucking it to Kyron Lacey, and he's making those plays. He's getting familiar with him being in those positions, and I think it's going to translate into next season. He knows what shoes to fill. He was in a really experienced wide receiver room, and even Cortez Hankton said he has a lot of faith in Kyron Lacey to step up, and I do too.
Yeah, I think it has to translate into next season.
Oh, yeah, no, it has to.
I don't know if there's even an option. It seems that last year there was Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. Of course, Kyron Lacey was that third-string player. If he messes up, it's not the end of the world. We just won't throw another pass to him. Now you're kind of in a predicament where you're going to have to say, we'll have a fairly new quarterback, someone who isn't Jaden Daniels, and he's going to have to go out there and rely on an experienced wide receiver like Kyron Lacey. And Adam, who do you think is going to be throwing Kyron Lacey that ball this season?
I think that is the biggest question going into spring ball this season, because the answer, like if you ask people, it's Garrett Nussmeier. Garrett Nussmeier is going to take over for Jaden. If you think about it, though, when Jaden transferred in, it was Miles Brennan's team, and then Garrett was going to take over, and Jaden was just a backup who couldn't make it in the Pac-12. If you go back before that, 2018, this random Ohio State backup who couldn't get on the field transfers in. Oh, Joe Burrow, he couldn't play. Like, he couldn't make it in the Big Ten. He's not going to make it in the SEC. Miles Brennan is the quarterback. Miles Brennan was his 5-star recruit. He's going to lead this team. Joe Burrow comes in, wins the starting job. After 2018, you go into the spring game. I don't know, Miles might win the job back. I don't know if Joe's going to, keep up this pace. He improved, but, it wasn't a great season. We did pretty good. We beat UCF in a bowl game. But this is Miles Brennan's team. Joe Burrow wins a national championship, wins a Heisman. A.J. Swan is not Joe Burrow. I am not saying that. But he played a lot at Vanderbilt. Maybe.
Maybe not.
Jaden Daniels wasn't a Heisman either, right?
Yeah.
A.J. Swan is a transfer from Vanderbilt. He started a decent bit at Vanderbilt. Not a lot of winning football, but also not a lot of great stats, for being honest. The point is, he's played in the SEC. He has experience. He's started a lot more games in the SEC than Garrett Nussmeier. Garrett Nussmeier has started 0 SEC games, right? He looked good against Wisconsin. I just don't know if that bowl game is enough to really, really solidify that job. I think in the end he wins it and he never looks back, but I think these next couple weeks are going to be huge for Garrett Nussmeier's future in football, period.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, because we do know Brian Kelly's very seniority based. Like, if you have that experience, he's more likely to put you in. So Nussmeier really does have to prove himself here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Speaking on the defensive side of things, I think Harold Perkins has to prove himself. And you might call me crazy, but earlier in the week it was announced that Harold Perkins will be playing inside linebacker. And everyone is like, why would he be playing inside linebacker? Because he works best on the outside. He's not that guy who's supposed to be that will linebacker, but this is who Harold Perkins thinks he is. And I liked what Matt Moscone on ESPN Radio had to say this week, is that a lot of this has to do with NIL. We're in this time where the transfer portal is very easy, that if a player wants to leave, they can, and they can go get thousands or millions of other dollars somewhere else. And it seems that Brian Kelly and other defensive coaches, especially new ones, want to keep Harold Perkins. Of course you want to keep Harold Perkins. My issue is that I don't think you're getting the same Harold Perkins at an inside linebacker position than you are from an outside linebacker position. So if he wants to do this, he needs to prove himself a lot this season and prove that he can go out there and he can lead this defense, and he wants to be ready for the next level playing an inside linebacker. Then he needs to go out there and prove that. Instead of possibly losing games for a team, because we know what he did his freshman year when he was on the outside, when he was trying to get to the quarterback and was blitzing and things of that nature.
Good point. He definitely has all the intangibles, too, to come out and have a great season. I think just his natural ability to just get to the ball and get to the runner is absurd. So definitely expecting a good season out of him. We'll see soon in the spring game what he has.
We'll see.
Before we can get to spring football, we got to get through midterms.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
David and Patricia, best place to study for your midterms?
You're more of a, you probably know better than me.
I'm not
You probably
sure.
have the good study spots, Patricia.
Do you like to study, David?
Yeah, I love to study. No, I can't do it.
Well, You could call me strange because I really do like to study.
Oh, man.
I write all of my notes, so I just disconnect from the world. I put my computer away, I put my phone away for 4 or 5 hours, and I just disconnect. Yeah, no, the only people I see is usually outside my apartment where I study. If I can be at my apartment, I can do it anywhere. I need a whiteboard though. Yeah. So when I was in my dorm, we had a study hall. I would just go in there and write all over this whiteboard, highlight all of my notes. I felt like a teacher. Hot take. Don't call me crazy. Okay. But I have gotten some of my best work done in the dining halls here at LSU. Hear me out. I don't always have to study. I took English, some journalism classes, sometimes even history classes. Yep. We were talking about how much we both like history. We have to write papers instead of midterms. Well, I have done some of my best work writing papers at the 5 and at the 459. I don't know what it is. The idea is flowing. I don't know if it's the smells in the background of all the good food, but it really gets my brain going, and that is where I've gotten most of my A+ on my papers.
You might be onto something. Maybe like some aromatherapy. You
so
probably smell something good. You work harder.
Look, not everybody needs to rush there, but that is one of my favorite places to study if it's not my apartment.
I will say, like, I don't study much. I really, I don't know. I try to sit down and like, you know, do the note stuff. But I have to, like, listen to stuff. I got to listen to videos of people explaining, and then I'll be good off. So when I do that, one of the best study spots I think is if you have a friend that lives off campus or you live off campus, those off-campus apartment study rooms are usually empty. There's usually no one in there, so you can literally go close yourself in a room. I know that at my off-campus apartment there's a whiteboard room and stuff, like little solo booths. Yeah, so if you like, you can go in there. I'll listen to a crash course in my ears. Or the parade grounds if it's nice outside. I feel like it's good to study and get some good sun on you.
Get the rays, a nice tan.
Yeah, just feel good outside. Get some warm weather when it's nice out.
Yeah, that and apparently by the pool too. I sit by the pool at my apartment, so much so that I
would jump in though. I can't sit by the pool.
If it's not too hot. Now it's great to sit by the pool because it's not too hot, not too cold. But somebody did call me the pool girl. He was like, it's not getting hot outside when the groundhog sees a shadow. It's when the pool girl is outside again. That was one of the best compliments I have ever gotten. So that is where I get a lot of my work done too if I'm not hungry and don't need to go to the dining hall.
One place that LSU students used to study a lot is Alex Fox Stadium. Before Skip Bartman came in,
so crazy.
there used to be no one at the baseball games, right? Yeah. So there would be a baseball game, you would go, you would take your books, you would get some studying done, watch the game. It was quiet. Skip Bartman came in, changed the program, won a bunch of national championships. Now the box is packed. I don't recommend studying in any LSU sporting venues anymore, but I think that's pretty crazy that they used to get.
Is there even a venue we have that you can that it'd be so quiet?
No, I don't. Not
maybe
that
like
I know of.
A golf
competition?
Yeah,
maybe golf.
But yeah, probably. But even those are probably hype. They're probably like following around. Like,
I would be.
Especially because we have a pretty good team.
I've seen a lot of it on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen these, David or Adam, but a lot of TikToks going around where kids just go into their football stadiums, their D1 football stadiums,
I like it.
and are studying in there. And one girl made a TikTok, no reference to the fact that she was inside of a football stadium, was just talking about her schoolwork, which blew my mind because everyone's like, you're just not going to mention that you're in a stadium alone that's supposed to hold 100,000 people. She didn't care.
I mean, all power to her. I mean, we're paying a lot of money to be at these schools, and you got to pass these tests to stay. So if you got to walk into a little facility to do your work, I mean, that's harmless. If I go into Tiger Stadium, I'd probably be more incentivized to study.
So maybe Tiger Stadium needs whiteboards in their new renovation. Is that right? Maybe some study rooms?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
so
we
before the game.
Study rooms in there.
Yeah, that might be good. Friday night studying so you can be ready for the game Saturday.
Friday night study sesh at Tiger Stadium.
You can sleep
Everybody
in the stadium.
Shows up.
I mean, I think there used to be dorms inside of the stadium years and years ago, so you could just implement some study rooms in there and then some bean bags so kids can sleep and then get ready for Saturday.
Yeah, there was. If you ask the unks and the aunties, they'll definitely tell you they used to stay in the dorms in Tiger Stadium.
I mean, I don't really see the problem with that. I don't know.
So, speaking of Tiger Stadium and the volume in Tiger Stadium, there was this little thing that kind of came out on social media over the past week. New Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer does not use swear words. He said that There's still a fire. It's just coming from a different place. He doesn't need to cuss at the kids to get them fired up. What's it going to be like when he comes into Death Valley and he's got that student section screaming at him this season for the first time ever as the Alabama head coach?
Well, you better just get used to the curse words, man. I mean, that's probably cool that, he doesn't have to use that type of language for the team. Me personally, I like my coaches to say the most volatile things. Like, I need my coaches to really have to double check that there's no cameras around before they talk. And once you come into Tiger Stadium, Tiger Stadium's pretty bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it gets toxic in there. You're gonna hear some bad words. First off, you're gonna hear her singing neck. When you hear that,
Enough said.
yeah, literally.
Enough said.
Probably if it's Bama, Bama hate week. You already
Yeah,
know you're gonna
Bama's
hear,
bad.
You suck. Wrong time, what?
They're bad. I kind of feel bad sometimes.
You feel bad?
Yes.
Oh no, I don't feel bad. This is the art of war. You're getting in their head.
In football, not as much. Baseball and basketball, just because it's a lot easier to hear sometimes. But football, I'm like, is he really going to hear this? But I really do like his approach, because I think if you're going to practice what you preach, and if you don't want your kids to go out there, or your players to go out on social media cursing and saying all this, then you shouldn't do it on the football field. But I like that you said that it hyped you up. Well, if a coach is trying to change the way that sometimes he says curse words, it might be a day and night sort of deal. It's day right now. It's going to be night later. You mentioned how you like to go on some midnight walks. David, what goes into those?
Well, I can't recommend any other people going to take midnight walks, obviously. But you guys are if you're of age, take precaution, take risks. What could happen. Me, I like my little midnight walks. It's peaceful at night. Not much noise. You're getting crisp, cool air just hitting you.
In Baton Rouge, it's peaceful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very peaceful.
I'm wondering.
Well, I don't know. Baton Rouge isn't too different from, back home. I feel like I'm home.
That's true.
I feel like I'm in Brooklyn.
You're from a city, so you're like, this is probably quiet because there's so many people in New York compared to here.
Yeah.
So, See, for me, this is so loud. I never sleep here.
Never?
Barely. I have to wear 2 face masks just to block out all the light and the fire sirens and everything that come down my street at night. But I think if you had more 24-hour places in Baton Rouge, I would be open to that. I know you're familiar with Wawa, the convenience store in New Jersey. It's open 24 hours. I can get a sandwich. I mean, this is not just a Circle K. I can get a sandwich, a salad, mac and cheese, anything, anytime, 24/7. Baton Rouge doesn't have that, unless they do. Is there something I'm missing? That you go out at night? I don't.
No 24-hour spots. The closest thing we got is Circle K.
Circle K. All right. Well, I will say I've never done this in Baton Rouge, and I would not advise doing it in Baton Rouge unless you're David, I guess. But my family does have a tradition to go on a midnight run, and there's this place called Holstein's in Bloomfield, New Jersey. My family's from up north. We go get a bunch of ice cream. Fun fact, one of The Sopranos' last episodes was filmed there.
Wow.
So we get a bunch of ice cream there, and this has been a tradition that my grandma started nearly 40 years ago, because my mom's one of 6. So eat a bunch of ice cream, and then we go on this midnight run, and it's this dark street, or it's not even a street, it's only a sidewalk, and it's like this bumpy sidewalk, and it's pitch dark, it's midnight, so we have to run down the street, and it's in between only houses, so you don't see any streets. So there's a street where your parent or your aunt, uncle is going to drop all of my cousins off. I have like 20 cousins. So they're going to drop us off, and then the car has to go around the block and try to race us there. So it's about, I don't know, maybe half a mile. I don't know. It's not too bad. So you just have to try to run as fast as you can down the street in the dark, no lights. There's no street lights because it's just in between houses. So you can't see a thing, and you're trying not to trip on each other because now we're all teenagers and in our 20s. And then your parent has to race you around the block in the car. And 9 times out of 10, the kids do win, not to brag.
That's pretty cool,
really
a little
fun.
midnight run. I was thinking about going on a midnight run tonight, actually.
You should.
If you're looking for something to do at night in Baton Rouge, coming up, Tiger TV is having its 3rd annual Battle of the Bands at Fred's. If you're watching us on video, there's going to be a QR code on the screen if you want to go get tickets. If you're listening to us on audio, check out our Instagram, LSU Tiger TV. We've got a link tree so you can go get tickets there. It's 18 plus at Fred's, so if you're a freshman and you can't get into Fred's, we got you. Tickets are $10. If you buy them online, Leap, that's going to count as your cover. So you're getting in cheap. You're going to get to see some really cool bands. I know LSU plays Florida, so if you want to come by after the baseball game, stop by, check it out, support Tiger TV. But I want to ask you guys, y'all are going to be there. What are your top 3 bar songs that you're hoping to hear?
All right, I'll go first. Now, I want this to replicate exactly how I work out in the morning, and that's by listening to about 10 different genres both to satisfy my need. So I wanted to start off with You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift, right? I want like a solo electric guitar in there. I want to finish off the song. I want a crescendo. And then I want Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi, and I want like whoa, whoa, do. I want like that to start off, right? And then at the end of that song, I want to be like, living on a prayer, whoa, whoa, pause.
Oh, you want like a transition?
Yes. I want all of these like in one. I want 3 in one. And then I want to pause, and I want a beat drop, and then I want California Love by Tupac. And that would satisfy. I would go crazy.
You might have to become a DJ.
I think I should.
You got to work on that.
I'm going to call Shaq.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
David, what do you got?
For me, I didn't think of another transition. That was pretty good. You know, I was just thinking of, when I go to the bar, like what type of songs I'm gonna hear. Like at number 3, I think a good song. All I Do Is Win. DJ Khaled. You hear that in the bar, and everybody's like, and their hands go up, and they stay there, and everybody's just, oh, that's a great environment. Number 2, Pepas. I don't really know like the lyrics because the song is in Spanish, but like you know the beat. It's like. And,
You can get hyped to that.
Oh yeah, oh, I get hyped. I go through the roof, man. And then finally, number 1, No Hands, Waka Flocka. This brings me right back to football season. You're at Tigerland. You're in the house. It's a good home win. The entire football team's here. The entire baseball team's there. All the athletes. It's crowded. You're like sardines, and then everybody's just moving, and you just
all the feels.
Electric.
I love that.
Electric.
I think that would be good. Now imagine all 3 of those together. That might be even crazier.
I might have to work on that.
So we're gonna get into our next segment here. It's called No Sweat Bets, presented by Southern Air.
No Sweat Bets.
We haven't had the best track record to start off. Battle of the Bands, having fun. That might be a no sweat bet right there. You show up, you'll have fun. Guarantee it.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're going to see if we can improve on our picks this week. David, Patricia, give me one bet that you feel really good about this weekend.
Yeah, Adam, you're being really nice by saying we, because you guys know I'm the only one who really needs to improve. But I'm going to be confident in this one. I'm going to go with the Pacers and the Pelicans. The Pels right now, they're at plus 4.5 to win. Wednesday, I saw some of the highlights. It looked like an all-star game, especially for the Pacers. I believe Obi Toppin was on 2 highlights for SportsCenter Top 10. He was number 10 and number 1. I think this should fire up the Pelicans. They should be upset about this, and they should go out there and they should win against the Pacers.
For what it's worth, the Pelicans did have a breakdown on their plane, so they got into Indy at like 6 in the morning. And then I had to play at 7 o'clock at night, and all the angry Twitter old guys were like, "You get paid millions of dollars. You still like got 2 hours of sleep and had to play an NBA back to back on the road." But that's why you got your sleep. There's no excuses now. Everyone's safe, thankfully. You're good. You can go out there and you can win. I think
this could fire them up.
Yeah, I like that. I think you're gonna hit on that one.
Please.
I'd say my one big bet I'm probably going to give LSU men's basketball versus Vanderbilt tomorrow, March 2nd. LSU basketball just got off another 1-point win against University of Georgia. And we're known to smoke games like these, get a tight win, and the men's basketball just loses by 20. But I don't think that's going to happen. We're closing out the season. It's like 2-3 more games left. LSU men's basketball is going to go out strong. And we're going to go 3-0 in these final games, and that'll be my bet.
All right, I like it.
Undefeated, leaving the season. Don't let me down, guys, please.
Well, that was No Sweat Bets presented by Southern Air. That is all we have for you today. I am Patricia Caputo.
I'm David Barthelemy.
And joining us today was also our producer, Adam Gattuso. Thanks for hanging with us, and we hope to see you again next week.